Today on Icy Tales, we have a talented individual who has worked in different professions and has practiced different things. Join me in welcoming the beautiful lady on my left, Dr. Prachi, who will give us insights and knowledge about what she is today. First of all, warm welcome from Icy Tales, ma'am. How was your day?
Thanks. Thank you so much. I'm doing really well, and I'm really honored to be a part of your initiative. And I'm so glad that you've invited me and looking forward to share my insights, with all of you and your audience.
So very nice to hear that, ma'am. So with that being said, let's dig into your life and find out about all what we want to discuss today. So when I was researching about you, I noticed that you were a dentist earlier. So from being a dentist, you shifted into nutrition and then lactation. So what made you take this decision and why did you make this change exactly?
Yeah, so it's been a long journey, but I'm really proud of myself
Mhm,
to be a part of this journey. And I've shifted roles. So
mhm,
I am a dentist by profession. I did dentistry and I've worked in a well-reputed government hospital
mhm,
for 7 years.
mhm,
And it was a great experience. I learned a lot. But then after that, when I delivered my baby, I came to know about, all the challenges which a new mother face, which is
mhm.
not talked about.
Right.
Being a doctor, I never knew about these challenges. I
Mhm,
was working in a government setup in a hospital. Then also, nobody talked to me about it.
mhm,
And it really came as a shock. Fortunately, I had a good support. I was able to walk on that journey very easily. I had a good support from my family members, my husband. But
mhm,
then, as soon as, I was walking, I was seeing that there was so much mothers struggling,
mhm,
through their journey with the lactation problems, and then
mhm,
later on in toddlerhood they were facing a lot of child eating problems. So
mhm,
this really motivated me, and then I decided to do my certification in lactation and nutrition. And I remember that since I gave birth to my child, there was a huge change. And
mhm.
then I realized that being a mother, being a parent is a full-time job. So,
Yeah.
I decided to quit my job and
Mhm,
then be with my child for some time. I took a break because it was really overwhelming at that period of time. And then I decided to shift my career, and I'm very happily, doing it. And that's why I started this initiative on Instagram by the name of my parenthood, and I'm trying my best to reach out to many mothers and parents, and share my knowledge and my experience with them.
Speaking of knowledge, I also had a few doubts regarding things you had mentioned on your bio. So you had so many, names and professions on your bio, and there was one thing which said parenting reminders. So can you tell us what exactly are parenting reminders and something elaborate about
Absolutely. So I would just take a little time with it, and I would like to say a few things, that
it? Mm-hmm.
with changing time, we have reached an era where parenting itself is being defined very differently now, right? It has completely changed. We are moving towards the time of gentle parenting
Mm-hmm.
and conscious parenting. More of consciously, we are trying to react and act. But I think this was not practiced earlier. If we see past generations,
Mm-hmm.
it was more of, जैसा चल रहा है वैसा चल रहा है, there were certain set rules which I think everybody was following. But then we have faced those times. There was
Mm-hmm.
certain way in which our parents used to react when we did some mistakes, or we did some things, and those things we are carrying in our minds. if
That's
we if we think that we'll not behave in that certain way, but still we are carrying that baggage, in our mind, in our subconscious mind. So we believe it or we don't believe it, we tend to react in a specific manner which we have seen our parents
mm-hmm.
reacting. So it is really important for all of us, for all of us as parents, to
Mm-hmm.
unlearn those things which are there in our mind, that I always believe, okay, fine, I will not shout at my child at all. But there are some times, when I get overwhelmed, I end up doing that because I have seen that reaction, my parents used to give it to me when I used to do such things.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, to bring that change, those parenting reminders are important for all of us. For
Mm-hmm.
me also, I never say that, because I am a parenting coach, so I can, everything is easy for me. No, for each and every parent of our generation who is trying to become more gentle, who is trying to become conscious, who is trying to raise a generation, who don't have any bad memories of their childhood,
Mm-hmm.
they are
Yes.
treated in a bad way. So for those, I think those are reminders that you have to be more conscious every day. This is what you have to do. This is what you don't have to do.
Mm-hmm.
It is not easy. It is not easy. We'll be doing mistakes every day, but these reminders will help us to become more conscious and, to behave in a certain way, which we are supposed to, and not make a lot of mistakes in our journey.
By all what you said, I could make out that parenting is completely overwhelming, and everyone does have their shares of ups and downs, which I didn't know. And I'm just realizing that yes, my mother would have gone through all this, bringing all of us.
Absolutely.
Yes. So, with that being said, although parenting has its shares of ups and downs, do you think, as a parent, what superpower do you
I think all parents are superheroes. We are just,
have?
there is no superpower. We all are normal, human beings, and we are trying to learn from our mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
But if you ask me, parenting is not an easy job, especially in today's era when there is so much influence of social media,
Mm-hmm.
people around you, so much information, floating everywhere. And it itself is so overwhelming. So if we talk about superpowers, we all are superheroes. We are trying to, raise our kids in a certain way, and we are trying to change ourselves, and we are trying to become more conscious. So
Mm-hmm.
it is not an easy job. And I think being parent itself is a superpower we all have. We are trying to raise our kids in a certain way which we want, and we are trying to fight it out. It's not easy
Yes.
to fight, with the society around you, that, I have to follow these certain parenting styles. It is
Mm.
not easy, but we are trying our best to do that. So we all are superheroes, and I'm very proud of all the parents because they are trying to bring that change for our future generations.
Yes, they indeed are superheroes, and I'm glad that you threw spotlight on that so that a lot of people get awareness about this fact. I'm noticing about parenting. I want to know if, in good parenting, do parents and children complement each other, or is anyone's role a cut above the other?
I'm so glad you asked this question because it's really important for all of us to understand that parenting is not a one-way journey. It's like parents and children together. It's a two-way
Yes.
relationship. And it is really important for us to maintain that balance. At certain times, you have to listen to them. At other times, they will listen to you. Then only, it would be easier for you. It's
Mm-hmm.
not that parents are superior and you should have all the control. No, times have changed, and we have to give that little control to our kids. We should give them choices, and then only, they'll grow up into a independent, individuals. We need to do that. And
Yes.
if we'll keep on thinking that we are superior, they only have to listen to us, then it's not going to work out. I tell
Yes.
you that this was the thing which all our elders used to believe. We had no say. If they were wrong also, we were never, we were always taught that if you're never, you can never, you are not supposed to answer back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
But then I think we should give that freedom to our kids, that if
Mm-hmm.
they feel that something is wrong, they should stand up for that. The
Yes.
things which we are suffering, our kids should not. That is what, we all have to work towards it, and we have to bring that change. So yes, it is really important that both the parents and the children should complement each other in this journey to make it more easier and effective.
So a balance is all that's needed, and I hope that the upcoming generation uses this balance to make fruitful relationships. So thank you so much for giving
Absolutely.
us insights on that, ma'am. Moving on to your next part of your professional cycle, I would say, which is nutrition. So what do you have to say about bad eating habits in children and teenagers?
Yeah, there are certain reasons which I would like to point out.
Mm-hmm.
The most important being that, kids are not given freedom to explore, as children, as babies and as toddlers,
Mm-hmm.
they're not given a lot of freedom. It's like they are force feed. They're
Mm-hmm.
not given enough opportunities to develop that relationship with food, positive relationship with that food. Okay. And parents think that it's their responsibility to decide that, how much their kids should eat and whether they should eat or not. No,
Mhm.
ideally, it's the other way around. It is, as a parent, it's only our responsibility to decide what to give,
Mhm.
when to give.
Right.
The quantity and if they want to have it or not
Mhm.
has to be decided by the child,
Right.
himself or herself. So that's really, really important. Also, there is no lot, we are not giving a lot of exposure to them.
Mhm.
We are not letting them create a mess out of food, touch it, explore it, so
Mhm.
that they get comfortable with it.
Right.
We are trying to control them. We are trying to decide what should they eat and what should they
Mhm.
not. And we are putting a lot of restrictions also,
Right.
that ye khana hai, ye nahi khana, you have to eat
Mhm.
this, you don't have to eat that. So that is resulting into a generation,
Mhm.
which doesn't have a very positive relationship with food. And I have
Mhm.
experienced that. I think our generation, we don't have a very good relationship with food. I
Right.
am sure that you would be able to relate to me that sometimes we are upset, we think of eating. When we
Yes.
are crying, we think of eating. And we sit and we binge watch and we just keep on eating.
Yes.
So we are not well aware about our satiety levels because
Mhm.
we were not given so much opportunities, and we were not given that freedom to
Mhm.
get in relation, to identify it. So
Mhm.
I think that is what which is lacking. And I keep on telling all the parents in all my workshops and through the medium of social media, that please, don't just let your kids, give them space, let them
Mhm.
decide their appetite, let
Right.
them take decisions for themselves. And just trust them, their body, their appetite. And
Mhm.
then the journey will become very easier, and they will develop that positive relationship with food.
Correct. Ma'am, you spoke about this now and then thing of back then how kids were and now how kids were. This automatically brought me to my next question, which is, there's been a vast difference between parenting styles back then and parenting styles right now. So, what do you think is good from back then and which you wish that never changed, or something which was bad back then and is good now?
Yeah, to start with, I would like to talk about the good part, because things which we as parents, always we should try to make our kids learn, which I think are a great things which were practiced in the past, but gradually as we are moving towards other generations, these things are getting lost. So the very important first thing is family values. It's
Mhm.
really important to pass those things to our kids also. Let us not forget about it. Then, in earlier times, kids had to earn all the privileges, all the
Mhm.
gifts. I tell you, as parents, we always want that, our kids should
Mhm.
get everything which we never,
Correct. Yes.
which were not given to us or were not
Mhm.
easily accessible. But then in this, we want to do everything for our kids, but then sometimes we forget that, the importance of that gift or those things will fade away, if
Mhm.
we'll just keep on doing it for our kids. They need to earn that. And
Yes.
this was practiced in the earlier times.
Yes.
We were always said, okay, you will get this on your birthday, or maybe when your papa will come in the evening, he will get it for you. So there was a delayed gratification which was practiced, and I think which is missing. As soon as the kids say, okay, mama, I want this, we just take the phone, we try to order it from
Yes.
Amazon
Yes.
completely. We don't give them that thing to just sit and realize that whether they need it or not, and if they
Mhm.
need it, if it is very urgent right now or not, or let us wait for some time. So
Mhm.
that is extremely important. Then also, I would like to say that the screen time which has been increasing, it was not accessible to us in the previous time, and we need to learn from this our parents that how they used to manage. I don't know,
Yeah.
because I keep on talking to my mother, there was no screen time, there was nothing, how they used to manage everything. And also, if I move towards it, let your child get bored. It's okay, you don't have to
Mhm.
entertain 24/7,
Mhm.
which generally we are doing. Our generation generally practice it. We always think that, okay, fine, let us keep them busy in this activity,
Yes.
okay, this thing, that thing. It's okay, sometimes we need to give them that freedom, and let them explore the nature,
Mm.
let them connect with the nature. These all things were, I think, were practiced a lot in the previous
Yes,
times.
yes,
But yes, there are few things also which need to change. The very first thing is that, as we talked about in the previous questions, we are not the superior power, or
correct.
we should not take the entire control.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try to be more conscious about our parenting styles, the
Mm-hmm.
things we talk about, our reactions, our actions in front of our kids. We need to be more gentle, we need to be
Correct.
more conscious, and there are a lot of things we need to unlearn. The
Mm.
best thing which has happened is that parents have started changing, and they've started believing that they need to respect their kids decisions. Okay, they need to respect their child's, they need to give them space, and they need to let them speak. Then only they'll raise into a confident individual. So that's
Correct.
very, very important, and I'm very happy we are changing. A lot of things have been a lot of things we are changing. We are still unlearning, we are
Yes.
still unlearning. So yeah, this whole concept of gentle parenting, which we are trying to imbibe, is is what needed and is very
Mhm.
important. And I hope we all follow it and try to learn a lot about it as we move towards the future.
And I'm glad that you're spreading awareness on this because I'm sure not many people are aware about this. So great, great job, and I wish you all the very best for spreading your word on gentle parenting and bringing about a change in many, many families. Great job on that, ma'am. Moving
Thank
on
you
to
so
my
much.
last question, which is supposed to be a fun question. So, you know that you have been doing multiple things. You were a dentist, nutrition, lactation, parenting. There are so many things that you do, right? So, among everything that you do, I'm sure you have like a soft corner for something. So, which one is your favorite and why?
So, to be very honest, I just love helping new moms in their
Mm-hmm.
breastfeeding journey.
Mm-hmm.
So, breastfeeding has a very, it's an important part of, my journey,
Mm-hmm.
and it holds a very special, space in my heart. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, I always want to help as many moms I can, even if I have to do it for free. I'll be very honest. I have done it for free for so many years. And recently I've started, the consultations and workshops. So like, if you will see me, like, it's like you will see my child very comfortable with
Mm-hmm.
all the breast models and playing everywhere around, because it has become a part of my journey.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it holds a very special position. I really want that each and every mother, should be able to breastfeed their child in whatever form, whether they are trying to feed directly or it is through pumping. And I don't want any mother to suffer because of lack of information, lack of awareness, lack of support. Because I am trying to achieve it because I've seen how it affects a mother mentally
Mm-hmm.
if she's not able to achieve something. And if
Mm-hmm.
she's not able to do that also, then also I'm there to support. That I don't want any mother to face that mom guilt. Okay, fine, I was
Mm-hmm.
not able to do. So that is a very important thing which we need to work on, and that just roots down to the society. So
Yes.
that change has to be that we have to start getting a lot of support from everywhere. And to get that, we need to
Mm-hmm.
bring a lot of change. We need to change the people around us, our elders, our partners. So it's like breastfeeding is not a one person's responsibility, it
Mm-hmm.
is everyone's responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And to have a successful breastfeeding journey, we need a lot of awareness, lot of information, and it is also important for a healthier planet, as
Yes.
quoted by WHO. So very, very important. So yes, any day, if you'll ask me, supporting new moms in their breastfeeding journey would be the work which would I just love to do any time of the day. Maybe it's night or it's morning, anytime. That also very special position in my heart.
It's very beautiful to know that because one thing I like about this entire conversation, apart from the glitches, was the fact that we discussed almost everything. We discussed nutrition, parenting, breastfeeding, and I'm just so happy in a span of 20 minutes. I got to learn so much knowledge and meet with an individual like you. So thank you so much,
Thank
ma'am, for giving us your time and doing this interview with us. I'm sure not just me, all those watching this will have a great time listening to you. And if people haven't told you, I really like your smile very much. The way you smile
Thank
gives me a lot
you.
of good vibes. So please keep that smile always on and
Thank you.
inspire young people like me to grow further in life.
Thank you so much. It was really, glad. I'm really glad that, I'm a part of this conversation. I'm so happy to share it. And thanks a lot for inviting me. I hope this information reaches many and they are motivated, in their journey. And if we can help only one person, that would be a great achievement.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
and we shall, ma'am.